Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the #1 entertainment show in the Tampa Bay area, Hollywood Connections. And now, here's your host with a special beauty reporter special, Dawn Reese.
That's right. We're interrupting this special edition right now. If you're driving, this is Hollywood Connections. Instead of Friday night, we have a special with our beauty queen reporters and finding out what they're doing. So this is their half-hour special. Let's go right to the point and get one of our Hollywood, Florida reporters, Dedra. Is she on the air? Hi, Dedra.
Hi.
Welcome to your half hour.
Hi, welcome. This is Chat with Dedra.
That's right. What I'm really enjoying about this, Dedra, is this is the power of influence of faith-based entertainment. And you're going to share some testimonies. You were saved at 17 years old, and God spoke to you about music and entertainment. And you started to listen to Christian music, and you didn't know it existed until you began to write music about Christ and interview artists. And tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so in high school, I was dealing with some things, and I grew up in a Christian household, and so I didn't know that I didn't accept Christ into my life. I thought that Jesus was always with me, but it wasn't until when I was feeling really empty and feeling really lost in life and feeling like I needed something to fill me up, I didn't know that Jesus was the answer, because I thought I already knew Jesus and I already accepted him into my life. And my mom invited me to a church service one night, and I didn't want to go. I was dealing with some things, dealing with some depression or like being surrounded by peer pressure and influence in high school. And I was sitting in the church service, and they were doing an altar call, and my mom went up, but I decided not to go. And a lady tapped me on my shoulder who was sitting behind me and said that God spoke to her for me to go up there to the altar. And immediately I just started crying, and it lended to me giving my life to the Lord that night. And everything changed after that point, and it felt like the scales of my eyes just fell off, and I saw things the way God sees things, and the Lord entered into my heart, and I felt like a completely different person. Like the word says, we become a new creation in Christ. And one of the first things that God spoke to me about was the music I was listening to and the movies I was watching and the TV shows I was watching, how that affects my mindset. And the word says we will be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And I knew my mind needed to be renewed in the way that I was thinking, the way I was operating, especially after now I wanted to follow Christ and have my life surrounded by Christ. And so at the time, I was on my high school dance team, and they were dancing to the music that was on the radio. And so I remember being in practice and just feeling like I couldn't dance. Like I couldn't pick up the moves, which I pick up dance moves really fast, and I couldn't pick it up. I couldn't dance to these songs anymore, and I was hearing what the words were saying and what they were speaking. And I never really paid attention to that before, but when you're saved, when you're following Christ, like he shows you things that you wouldn't see before. And so music was something that really affected the way that I thought. And so one of the first things that God convicted me of was to lay down the artists that I used to listen to. And I said, okay, God, like, how can I do that? What can I be introduced to? Because I'm a dancer, like, how can I not dance certain things? And one of the first things he asked me to do was to leave my high school dance team. And so I made the decision. It wasn't easy, but as soon as I left, I felt like a weight just lifted off of my shoulders. And I said, wow, like this is how God works. Like he speaks to you. He wants you to follow him. And so I followed him and completely got set free from what was holding me down. And eventually it led me to watching more Christian music videos and listening to more Christian music, but still I wanted to dance. Like I didn't want to stop dancing. And God led me to an artist named Lecrae. He's a Christian rapper, and I first heard him through watching a dance video, and I heard him rapping about Christ. And it hit me. I said, whoa, is he talking about the Lord? He's talking about God. And I started listening to him, and then that opened the door for me to find all these other artists. And I felt like I found this underground world of Christian music that I didn't know existed. So I found pop music, I found hip-hop, I found like dubstep, rock music. There's so much music that the words that they're saying and what they're talking about is all a reflection and to honor the Lord. And everything else I was listening was very selfish driven, very like lifestyle, all about the person getting more money or getting this or getting that. But listening to these rappers, like they glorify the Lord in what they're saying, and they put Christ first. And so it really hit me, and it changed me forever. And what I was really excited about was being at the Christian Music Festival, and I met a singer, and I met her on a Christian rapper song, and she was just singing about how she had a heart transplant and was believing in faith for the Lord to let her live longer. And I remember seeing her, and I had to interview her, because that song that she did when I was 17 or 18 years old, when I first found that song, just solely impacted my life so much. And that's the power of God being in music, God being in entertainment, God being in certain things that we don't expect to find Him in. I don't think I would have ever expected to find God in rap music. I wasn't even that big of a fan of rap music, but that's my favorite music now, is Christian rap music. So, yeah, I definitely want to share this interview that I got to do at the Christian Film Festival with singer Jasmine Lachey, and I was just speaking to her how she definitely impacted my life.
Sounds
so, yeah, go ahead.
Sounds great. Dedra's also one of our Hollywood reporters. She's got a title, and she is just amazing, and interviewed Mama Ali and so many other people, which is Muhammad Ali's first wife. And let's go to that interview, Vaughn, and that's the first one. It's Jasmine Lachey, and that was at the International Christian Film Festival. We'll be right back.
This is Dedra Veronica, Miss Hollywood Reporter International 2019, here at the International Christian Film and Music Festival, and I'm here with singer Jasmine Lachey. I'm so excited to meet you. How are you doing?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
So, what has been the best part about being at this festival?
Man, there's such great expertise and knowledge shared from experienced songwriters and producers and people in the licensing industry. And then I've met really beautiful people, including yourself. So that's been great.
So how would you say you're using your God-given gifts in your career?
Well, you may not know this story, but for some years after I did the song Heart Song with KB, I underwent a deep depression, and I felt like God kept sending people to love on me at a time when I felt unloved, and Him sending people was like a tangible way of saying, I'm still with you, right? And so anyway, I stopped singing during that time, and only recently, just before I submitted a song to this festival, is when I decided I wanted to sing for the Lord again. After I had begun to study again and pray again, I wanted all of that to be well first, and then I wanted to begin singing. So that's what led me here, and I'm not sure whether or not I want to pursue being an artist yet or just a songwriter, but I certainly know that the Lord has put music in my heart and given it to me as a gift, and I will use it.
You're definitely blessing people. It blessed me when I first heard the song, and of course I'll still go back and listen to it. It's such a beautiful song, and your story about the heart and having a new heart, and
yes,
it's incredible. And how can we follow you and find out more about you?
Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook at Jasmine Lachey. That's JasmineLeShea. I'd love to connect with you, chat with you. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. God bless you. Back to you down in the studio.
So that is so cool. You got to meet one of your mentors, and I'm so excited for you. Also, it says, play my song, Strange Thing. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I definitely wanted to grow up. When I was younger, I always wrote music. I always wrote songs. I definitely wanted to be a singer when I grew up, and I was always just writing about music that you hear on the radio, like about love or just random things that I would hear about. And when I was saved, the Lord began to speak to me about the music that I was writing. And this was the first song that I wrote about the Lord. And I was so surprised that I could even write something about God like this, and definitely inspired by some other Christian artists. So yeah, Strange Thing is just talking about how God led me to Him, and it was just, yeah, it's like a strange thing. Like I didn't know that something like this could happen. So yeah.
So did you sing this song as well?
Yeah, we sang it and we recorded it.
Wow, something I did not know. That's why you have your own special. Pretty impressive. We're going to go to that song. We'll be right back. Hollywood Connection special with my beauty queen reporters from around the world. We'll be right back. So she wrote that music, and that is amazing of how she found God and that her inspiration. Also, Dedra, we're going to go to the next interview. Movies that inspired me was God's Not Dead, first faith-based movie that you saw. And who did you interview from the movie from God's Not Dead?
I interviewed Benjamin Onyango, and he plays the friend to the pastor in the movie. He's actually been in all three of the God's Not Dead, so I was really excited to meet him. He's a great actor, and yeah, that was a really cool opportunity to speak with him.
Super cool. We're going to go right to that interview from the International Christian Film Festival. Dedra is one of our top Hollywood reporters, and she has a title with that as well, and you could be next. Let's go to that interview.
Hi, this is Dedra Veronica, Miss Hollywood Reporter International 2019, here at the International Christian Film and Music Festival. And I'm here with one of the actors from God's Not Dead. Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. So what does it mean for you to be a part of this festival?
It means everything to me because, you know, the last movies that I've done have all been Christian movies, Beautifully Broken, God's Not Dead, and then Jesus Saved, which is not out yet, and now this, freshman year. And I'm like, oh, we got it accepted in a Christian film festival. That was amazing for me. So I was just like all excited, and here I am.
So how did you get involved into acting?
It was by accident. You know, actually, no, you know what? I used to write like little plays, you know, that I used to do way back then in Nairobi where I was born, back in the day before you were born, when I was little. So I used to write scripts, and then we would do them in the church and all that. So when I came to the States, I'm like, yeah, I think I can do this, you know. They started out as an extra, and then it all evolved from there.
So how does being a part of a Christian film impacted your life?
Oh, everything, you know, because then you get to, because, you know, when you're in the movies, when you're on that silver screen, you impact a lot of people. And it's even better when you're actually doing something for God, where you're actually witnessing, you're telling a story that touches people and all that stuff. So it's all, you know, it's amazing to be in a Christian film first.
It's incredible. So do you have social media? How can we find you and your upcoming projects?
Instagram is Benji Bendrix. I made that up. And on Facebook, I'm Benjamin A. Onyango. What's the other one? I don't know. Yeah, that's it. That's good. That's good.
Oh, awesome. I was definitely impacted by God's Not Dead. I literally just watched it, I think, last week again, because I have it at home. I have all three. So God bless you. That movie has impacted the world for sure. And yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Back to you down in the studio. Thank you.
And we're back in our beautiful Clearwater Beach Studios. And also, let's go back to now Courageous. This is one of my favorite movies. You got to meet War Room, Ben Davis. And tell us how exciting that was for you to meet this actor, because that is a fabulous, powerful movie.
Yeah, he's in a lot of Christian movies, and I've seen him in so many things. And he was just really nice to talk to. It was so cool to meet him. His role in Courageous was really great because he wasn't a believer in the beginning of the movie, and then he became a believer at the end of the movie and wanted to be a good father. So that was a great movie, and it was great to talk to him.
Awesome. Let's go to that interview, Vaughn, and he's our engineer tonight. Thank you for coming in to do this special. And thank you, Lola, station manager, as an owner as well, with everybody. And Ed, thank you for having this special that we have. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Dedra Veronica, Miss Hollywood Reporter International 2019, here at the International Christian Film and Music Festival, here with actor Ben Davies. How are you?
It's just good to be here. I've heard about this film festival for a long time. This is the first time I've been able to come here, so it's been great. You get to see all your friends again. It's like a family reunion almost.
That's amazing. So how did you become an actor and get involved with Christian films?
Just something I kind of prepared when I was younger, and then the doors kind of opened with Courageous. I went down and auditioned for that movie back in 2011, and from there it's just been one film to the next and the next and the next. Just keep trying to get better, keep trying to tell good stories. So it's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome. And so how do you use your God-given gifts in your career?
Well, you just got to try to do the best that you have available. You know, you want to do everything as if you're doing it for the Lord. And so with every role, I just always try to attack it like that, to try to do the absolute best I can in all these different circumstances, no matter how small the role is or how big the role is. So that's kind of how I like to approach it.
That's amazing. Any upcoming projects? I know there was a movie that was showing here.
Yeah, The Order of Rights was showing here. There's also a movie called Fearless Faith coming out in May, and I haven't seen that one yet, so I'm really excited to see when they're actually going to release it, because I'm curious. It's been like a year.
So how can we follow you? Any social media?
Yeah, at Ben Davies Actor on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is the best way to do that.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, back to you down in the studio.
So that was one of my other favorite movies, War Room, and I'll tell you, when you do pray, things happen. So, Dedra, we're going to go to the next interview. God uses anything to speak to us. Share a few scriptures. You had a director, Jude. I guess I don't have his last name, but let's go to that video. Do you remember who that director was?
Yeah, Jude Johnson. He has a film called Freshman Year. And he had Benjamin Onyango was actually in that movie. And yeah, it was nice to talk to him. He was nominated at the film festival, and the movie should be coming out soon. But yeah, it was cool to talk to him too.
All right, let's go to that interview next, Vaughn. And this is what happens when you become a beauty queen reporter. You're out on the red carpets and you're getting footage like this and meeting producers and getting in movies. So who's next? You could be on Hollywood Connections. We're having interviews and auditions once a week. Let's go to that interview next. We're ready for Jude's interview. What Jude video? It says YouTube. Okay.
Hi, this is Dedra Veronica, Miss Hollywood Reporter International 2019, here at the International Christian Film and Music Festival, and I'm here with one of the nominees for Best Picture, Best Actor. Can you tell us about who you are, what you do?
Yeah, Jude Okudiafo Johnson. I'm the director and producer for Freshman Year film. So like you mentioned, we got nominated for Best Screenplay, Best Picture, Best Leading Actor, Best Leading Actress, and Best Supporting Actor. So we're pretty excited to be here. We'll see what happens tonight. But if we don't win, we're still very happy and pleased with the nominations.
Yeah, so what does it mean for you to be here?
It means a lot. It's just a validation that the screenplay that I wrote, just seeing it, being able to be nominated out of 1,000 films, that speaks a lot for us. So we came all the way from San Francisco to Orlando.
Wow.
So it's just a blessing to be here. It's great to be here. We love the people here. We love the reception we've received. We just love the way the audience reacted to our film. So I'm very happy. I'm very excited to be here. So let's see what happens tonight.
Yeah. Do you have a website, or how can we find out more?
So you can find out more Freshman Year movie. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. You can go on IMDb to find out more about us. For myself, Jude Johnson, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Instagram. And we hope the movie will be in the theater August, September timeframe. So come see it. If you're a college student, if you're a parent, has a kid in high school or college, this would be a good film to come see.
Amazing. All right. Congrats on your nomination.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Back to you, Donna, in the studio.
Okay, and so we're going to her final interview. She had Diablo Thompson video, and she's a singer-songwriter. Do you remember that one, Dedra? Are you there? All right.
Yes, hi.
Hi, sir. Yes, we have the next one, Diallo Thompson video, and that is your last interview of the evening. And tell us about that quick interview that we're going to do.
Yeah, so Diallo, he's an actor. He was actually in director Jude Johnson's movie called Freshman Year. He was the lead, and he's been in a few other films, and he just had some nice words to say, some encouragement for some actors. So it was cool to meet him. He's young, he's hungry, and trying to be a great actor. So yeah, he's great to talk to.
Awesome. And we have one more interview of Dedra's first half hour, her own half hour show of all the work that she's done for Hollywood Connections. She has so much more. And Dedra, before we go to your last interview, give your social media and where they can see the rest of these interviews that you've done.
Yeah, so you can go to DedraVeronica.com, DedraVeronica.com, or search YouTube for Dedra Veronica, and all my videos are on there.
Awesome, and we'll share that. All right, let's go to that last interview, Vaughn, and we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Dedra Veronica, Miss Hollywood Reporter International 2019, here at the International Christian Film and Music Video Festival, and I'm here with
Diallo Thompson. Go ahead.
Are you a nominee, or what brings you here?
Right, so basically I'm nominated for the best lead for a film called Freshman Year. It aired yesterday.
The poster.
You saw it? Yeah. It aired yesterday, and I got nominated for the best lead, and also the film is nominated for best feature. So I'm waiting right now to go in for the award ceremony and cross my fingers, hope I win.
That's so exciting. So what made you want to become an actor?
Oh, well, first, my older sister, she started acting before me. She was in an episode of Tyler Perry's House of Pain, and I saw that, and I just thought it was so amazing, and told my parents, hey, I want to get into acting. So I started doing theater and stuff, and I started getting into film, and here I am.
That's incredible. So what advice would you give to a young person, a young male who wants to do their God-given talent and bring God glory in their gifts and in their craft?
I would say, first of all, you have to keep your faith. You cannot give up, because this industry it's a lot of competition, right? You go into auditions and you're seeing people who look exactly like you that's going for the same role as you, and you're going to get rejected a lot. So you have to keep your faith, you have to keep your spirits up. Another thing is, don't skip any steps. You know, you have to do your research, go to acting class, meet other actors, ask a lot of questions. Don't be afraid of any criticism, because you're going to get a lot of criticism, but it's not bad. It's only there for you to get better. So if you keep doing that and if you don't give up, your hard work will pay off eventually.
That's incredible. That's amazing advice. So how can we find you? Any social media?
Right. So my Instagram, my Facebook, and my Twitter, it's all at Allo Thompson. So that's ALLOTHOMPSON.
Amazing. All right. Thank you so much. Good luck on your nomination, or congrats on your nomination. Thank you. Back to you down in the studio.
Well, Dedra, we are so proud of you. We're super excited that you're aboard with us on Hollywood Connections, and this is your half-hour special, and we're going to be talking to you maybe about an hour special. It goes so fast, and I want to thank you and your mom for the support with Hollywood Connections. You're doing fabulous, and God bless you, and Godspeed ahead. We'll talk after the show. Any last words, Dedra?
Yeah, just thank you for this opportunity, and I guess one scripture I can say is Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He shall show you which path to take.
That's beautiful. Well, Dedra, we're excited about next month's show. You know, we'll be talking to you afterwards, and again,